प्रजनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madha Jaya Radha Madha Jaya Radha Madha Jaya Radha Madha Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Jaya Radha Madhav Ju ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Vishnu Paramahamsa Parivrajakachaja Ashtottara Shri Srimad. His Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Pratistha Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadha Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadip Simai Podam ki jai. Gangamai ki jai, Jamunamai ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi Haribol, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9. Text number 7. The Dynasty of Anshuman. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tarishati Te Begam, force of the waves. Okay. Okay. Tarashishati Te Begam Rudrash Tu Atma Sharirinam Yasmin Otam Idam Protam Vishwam Satibo Tantushu Tarayisyati Ti Begvam Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Yasminotam Utam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantushu Dharishanti Tibekam Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Yasminotam Idam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantusha Dharayishati Tebekam Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Jasminotam Idam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantushu Ayayishati Tebekam Rudrastvatma Sharirinam Yasminotam Idam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantishu Harayishyati Tebekam Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Yasminotam Idam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantishu Hare Shati Tebegam Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Yasminotam Idam Protam Harayishati Tibekam Rudrasvatma Sharirinam Yasminotam Idam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantishu. Nimataji's. Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Yasminotamidam Protam Vishwam Shatibatantishu Darishati Tebekam Rudrastu Atma Sharirinam Yasminitam Idam Protam Vishwam Santi Patantishu. Darishati will sustain. Te, your, Begam, force of the waves. Rudra, Lord Shiva. Tu, indeed, Atma, the Supersoul. Sharirinam, of all embodied souls. Yasmin, in whom Uttam is situated in his longitude. Idam, the whole universe. Pratam, latitude. Vishwam, the whole universe. Shati, a cloth. Ibo, as. Tantushu, in threads. Tantushu, in threads. It's reminded me of a couple of days is Arun Shashti, Jagannath. Well, he wears a new cloth, winter clothing, because it's cold. Arun Shasti is called. So it's coming in a few days, but this tantishu, like a thread, that's the name of the special cloth we get. Or they call it tant. The special dhoti, special cloth we have for Jagannath Balaram Subhadra. Tant. Means like hand-loom cloth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhaycharanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Like a cloth woven of threads, extending for its length and breadth, this entire universe, in all its latitude and longitude, is situated under the different potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva is the incarnation of the Lord, and thus he represents the Supersoul in all embodied souls. He can sustain your forceful waves on his head. Ganga Devi is asking Bhagirati, who's going to sustain my force? Because I'm coming from the heavenly planets. Ganga was in the heavenly planets at that time. Now you're calling me, I'm coming. Who will break the force if I hit these planets? They'll burst into pieces. So who will catch the force of the falling water? So here, Bhagirati Maharaj is saying that Lord Shiva, he can catch that on his head. He has that much potency. Purport. The water of the Ganges is supposed to rest on the head of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who sustains the entire universe by different potencies. Lord Shiva is described in the Brahma Samhita 5:45. Kishram dadi vikara vishesha jogat sanjayati nahi tata pitagase hetu yasham bhutam api tata samupetya karyat govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. Milk changes into yogurt when mixed with yogurt culture. But the actual yogurt is constitutionally nothing but milk. Similarly, Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes the form of Lord.Siva for the special purpose of material transactions. I offer my obeisances at Lord Govinda's lotus feet. Lord.Siva is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the same sense that yogurt is also milk, although at the same time it is not milk. For the maintenance of the material world, there are three incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, Lord.Siva. Lord.Siva is Vishnu, an incarnation for the mode of ignorance. The material world exists predominantly in the mode of ignorance, and therefore Lord.Siva is compared here to the longitude and latitude of the entire universe, which resembles a cloth woven of threads, extending for both its length and breadth. Om Agyantimirandasya Jananjananachalakeva Takshuram Nidatandina Tasmai Shri Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhar Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. So here, talking about the identity here of Lord.Siva. Shiva Tattva is a very difficult subject matter. Two of the potencies of the Lord are very difficult to understand. Shiva Tattva and Guru Tattva. And Guru Tattva is more difficult than Shiva Tattva. Because Guru, he can represent all the different features of the Lord. Or you can say he represents Pancha Tattva. Anyway, Shakshadaritvina, so we know that the Guru is as good as... He represents a Krishna. So he's very difficult to understand sometimes. We're trying to find out what is Krishna. Then Guru is essential, so he's as good as Krishna. He's essential for realization of Krishna. So he represents Krishna by his cause, his mercy. So he's representing Krishna. And the statement or the argument is yes, without the mercy of Krishna, without the coming through and the mercy of Guru coming through the mercy of Krishna, nobody can actually understand. So we have to, it's imperative that we accept a Guru. So the argument is, where is the evidence that anybody made it, one might practice got it without the mercy of Guru? So Guru represents Krishna. So he's very difficult to understand because he seems like an ordinary person. So similarly, Shiva is also, these two are very difficult. Shiva Tattva is very difficult because of he is like milk, but he's become touched with yogurt culture, and the whole milk becomes like yogurt. So who is he? Is he yogurt or is he milk? Yogurt is nothing but milk. So therefore Lord Shiva is very difficult to understand. In the Brahma Samhita, on this verse of how Lord Shiva is like yoga, is text 45. I worship the Supreme Lord Govinda, who assumes the form of Lord Shiva, who is said to be non-different from Govinda, but who is also different because of his contact with the transformations of Prakriti, just as milk becomes yogurt, which can be said to be non-different from its cause, but acts in a different manner. Commentary. This is Jiva Goswami's commentary. Now, in order, after describing Durga of Devidam, Brahma describes Shiva of Maheshadam. In Vishwanath's commentary on chapter 88 of the 10th canto, it's explained that Rudra, he has one abode in the layers of Ahankara. Mahavishnu has his abode in the Mahatattva as well as the Karna ocean, and Durga has her abode in the layers of Prakriti. However, Brihad Bhagavatam Rita says Shiva Loka is beyond the coverings of the universe. The example of milk and yogurt. In the example of milk and yogurt, only that part which illustrates the cause and effect should be taken. In this world, milk changes into yogurt, but the Lord does not change into Shiva. He is unchanging, like Chintamani. By his inconceivable energy, the Lord continues to exist as he was before, even though he is also transforms into Lord Shiva. The Shruti says, Narayana existed before anyone else. Brahma and Lord Shiva did not exist. Becoming inspired, he began to meditate. Then the universe, Brahma, Agni, Varuna, Shiva, and Indra appeared. Narayana creates through Brahma and destroys through Lord Shiva. Narayana is never created or destroyed. He is the supreme cause, full of supreme bliss. Lord Shiva should be considered as an effect rather than a cause, because of his association with the material gunas. The 10th canto says, Lord Hari, however, has no connection with the material modes. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the all-seeing eternal witness, who is transcendental to the material nature. One who worships him becomes similarly freed from all the material modes. Although Lord Shiva associates with Tamash, he is not contaminated. This is made clear in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Lord Shiva is without a touch of material gunas, since he is the Lord. However, the ignorant perceive him among the guna avatars to be contaminated by tamagun. Sometimes Shiva is considered to be non-different from Vishnu. But these statements should be adjusted with the statements of the Brahma Samhita and other texts. There are no differing statements about the final cause. Thus the Rig Veda says, Atha Nicho Deva Eko Narayanaha Brahma Narayanaha Shivascha Narayanaha Shakrascha Narayanaha Dvarasa Dityascha Narayanaha. Goes on. Narayana alone is the eternal Lord. Narayana is Brahma. Narayana is Lord Shiva. Narayana is Indra. Narayana is the 12 Adityas. Narayana is the Bashus. Narayana is Ashwinis. Narayana is all the sages. Narayana is time. Narayana is the directions. Narayana is below. Narayan is above. Narayan is inside and outside. Narayan is everything, born of the universe. Brahma says in the second canto, by his will I create, Lord Shiva destroys, and he himself, in his eternal form, as the personality of Godhead, maintains everything. He is the powerful controller of these three energies. So some people say Lord Shiva is a demigod. He's like demigod. But these shlokas are saying that these demigods, they assume different names and different potencies from the prototype demigods. In the spiritual world there are millions of Vaikuntha planets, and each different planet is named after different personalities, and Sringadeva, Raha, Indra, Chandra, etc. So these prototype demigods, they influence the demigod. The demigods are born by their karma into a position of Indra, Chandra, etc. They're getting their potency to act as they do. Suryadev, sun god, he's in charge of giving light, but he gets that potency from the original Vaikuntha Murti, who has 4 arms and lives in Vaikuntha, whose name is Suryadev, or Indra, or Chandra, or all the different demigods. They all have their prototype, Vishnu Murtis, in Vaikuntha, and they bestow their potencies. They give their names and they give the potencies that they have to the particular demigods who are coming up in the material world, but somehow or another have a desires to be some big controllers, demigods. So whenever there is an argument or a debate, then it always comes back to this point. Krishna, Indra is Narayan, Sudra is Narayan, Shiva is Narayan. They're all Narayan, they're all Narayan. This is... So this is the conclusion we come to. If there's ever going to be a debate, save wasting time, and just all the all the potencies they have is coming from the supreme, the personality in Vaikuntha. Just like Ganesha, he says he keeps on his head, Tumalai, there's 2 bumps on his head. He keeps on his head the lotus feet of Lord Nrsingadev. So he gets his potency from Nrsingadev. In Vaikuntha there is a Nrsinga Loka. So that potency specifically of removing obstacles, then you're advised to worship Ganesh to remove obstacles in all kinds of pujas. That is Vedic injunction. So he removes the obstacles. But he gets his potency to do that from Nrsingadev in the transcendental world. So so all these potencies are ultimately coming from the spiritual worlds, and these are the demigods, they're the counterparts, can you say? So they're acting, they're getting their potency from the different Vaikuntha forms of the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead. Okay. So Krishna has to destroy the universe. He has to create it, he has to maintain it also. So the thing is that Krishna, he doesn't touch the material energy, but there's necessary for creation and there's necessary for maintenance, there's necessary for annihilation, which means you have to touch the material world, isn't it? If you want to maintain something or destroy something, there has to be some contact. But Krishna, Narayan, Vishnu, he doesn't touch the material energy. So when it's necessary to touch, then Krishna expands. Necessary for creation, then Krishna expands as Brahma, Guna Avatar. And in that form, it's the material form. Brahma has a material form. Maybe mental form. I was in Prabhupada's room and somebody asked him, Chutananda Maharaj asked him, Brahma has a body made of mind? And Prabhupada said yes. Doesn't mean he doesn't have other forms, but at that time Prabhupada said yes, he has a body of mind. So then he can deal with material energy. In this way, Krishna or Govinda, he can, directly he does not touch, but he can deal through these different forms, he manifesting these different guna avatars. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that you should know that all species of life, different species of life are made possible in this material world. And I am the seed-giving father. So just like the father impregnates the mother and the children are coming, so Krishna said, this, I impregnate this material world with all, and the jivas come out. But how can Krishna say that? He doesn't touch the material world. But Prabhupada says, so to touch the material world, then Krishna, he expands himself as Lord.Siva. And Lord.Siva touches the material world. The material world is Durga Devi, Parvati Devi, Maya Devi. Who can impregnate Maya Devi, Durga Devi? Only her husband, that is Lord.Siva. So Lord.Siva, Krishna assumes the form of Lord.Siva. And then Lord.Siva, he touches the material world in the matter of creation, maintenance and destruction. So that's his Lord.Siva's position. It's necessary for the Lord to touch the material energy. So he does it through his expansion as Lord.Siva. And sustains the universe. Who will catch the flood of water that comes from the Ganga? And the example given here is that the different threads you have a thread, and that is all pervasive. Throughout the length and breadth of the cloth, you want a cloth, it's only one thread, two threads actually, two pieces of thread, but you weave them all together, you get width and breadth. So Shiva is just like the thread, the thread is all pervasive, length and breadth. So similarly, Lord.Siva has this potency for maintaining all the energies, just as the thread has potency to manifest, to be spread throughout the breadth and width and breadth of the universe. The example is Yeah, so Lord Shiva is like that. He contains multi-potencies, so he's spread everywhere anyway. All the energies are his anyway. But so if it's not difficult for him to maintain the flood of water, because his energies are maintaining everything anyway. So Brahma Samhita says that Lord Shambho, he's not a second Godhead other than Krishna. He's not another God. There's only one God. He's not separate. You can't say that he's a separate God. Krishna is one. Those who think that he is separate, they commit a great offense to the lotus feet of Krishna. So mostly the Shaktas, they worship Lord Shiva, but they worship him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is also not correct. As worshipping separately from, as being some God separate from Krishna. That is also not correct. So Krishna assumes his form of Lord Shiva for the purpose of the destruction of the universe, as a servant of Krishna. So he's assuming this position, destroying in service to Krishna, because this is the way Krishna wants it. The universes are coming and going, and so like all of these prayers in Brahma Samhita, at least most of them, they're pointing out here that it's ultimately Govinda is behind everything. His will is behind everything, and because of his will, then everyone is acting and doing their particular duties: creation, maintenance, destruction, and any other. But they're all recognizing it's all coming from Krishna's potencies. Govinda Madi Purusham. He's the cause of all causes. So therefore it's difficult to understand Lord Shiva and the way he functions in this material world. But he himself also is like an avadut, so it's difficult to understand his pastimes. Anything can happen. And sometimes he's naked with snakes around his body and put ashes on his body. Neck of skulls, necklace of skulls. Because they're Vaishnava. They were Vaishnava skulls, so he doesn't mind. So very difficult, because he looks predominantly after the mode of goodness, some tamagun. Some people call him tamasi, but he is not affected by tamagun, even though he deals with tamagun and acts with tamagun. Then you get the different Rudras, 11 Rudras, who do a lot of tantric stuff and dancing in the graveyards, and it associates the Bhutas and things like ghosts and things like that. So Lord Shiva, he's great. He's their leader. He's their hero, because he's pretty far out. He wears dreadlocks, and he's ashes. He's kind of fashionable for the ghosts and people like that. So he leads them. They follow. He's their follower. So gradually he purifies them by his associations. For even the ghosts, who nobody generally goes and deals with the ghosts, they go away the other way. But Lord Shiva, he accepts their service. When Prabhupada was in, I think it was Bhaktivedanta Manor, or anyway, there was this horse stable was there. And though Prabhupada was walking there, then he stopped and he said, "I don't speak to ghosts." And he carried on walking. Disciples said, "Prabhupada, there's a ghost there?" He said, "Yeah. I don't speak to ghosts." There are many ghosts here, actually said, especially in the stable, the horse stable. Many ghosts. So nobody likes ghosts. But Lord.Siva, he accepts them. They are his followers. But he does so in the mood of being a servant of Krishna. So he's Krishna, but he's acting as a servant in a particular role as is needed as a servant of Krishna. But he himself always remains pure. He's not contaminated. Because he deals with tamagun, doesn't mean he is tama. He's beyond the modes of material nature. But to deal with the material nature, he assumes a form. It's like Krishna, he never left Vrindavan. But when it was necessary to kill Kamsa and other demons and establish Yudhisthira, then he assumes a form, Vasudev, and he leaves Vrindavan. But simultaneously he never leaves Vrindavan because he's there in the form of Krishna. But when he has to leave Vrindavan, which he never does, but somehow or another, when he does, he expands himself as Vasudeva expansion. Also, he is Krishna, is no different than Krishna. So in this way, Krishna is. He is the original personality of God, and everyone else is his servant. Har Sabdabrita. What is it? Har Sabdabrita. Krishna is the only master, and all others are his servant. Beginning from Lord Balaram. So he's always purified, and his associates also become purified. And Ganga Devi is also pure. But the devotees of the Lord are even pure, even more pure. They can purify places of pilgrimage. Yes, it is. Because saintly persons, devotees, always keep the Lord in the core of their hearts, they can perfectly cleanse the holy places of all sinful reactions. Because Ganga Devi said, if I come and the simple people will come, they'll bathe in me, and then all that pup will wash off and I'll become contaminated. But then Bhagirati said, no, because saintly persons also, they will come. And by their presence you will become purified. They will wash away all the sins. It's another place in the Bhagavatam, I can't remember, maybe it's Maitreya or... Anyway, he was asking the questions, how many places of pilgrimage did you purify in your travels? Huh? Uddhav? Oh, Yudhisthira said to Vidura. What canto? First canto, okay. Yeah, how many places of pilgrimage did you purify? So this is the potency of the devotees. It's said in the 10th canto, at the end of the 10th canto, before the event of Lord Krishna in this world, Ganga Devi was the most purifying agent. She came from heavenly planets, middle planets, hellish planets. She's throwing out, purifying. Everywhere she goes. So she was considered the most purifying agent. But since the event of Lord Krishna and the Jadu dynasty, whom Krishna was related to, family ties, because of Krishna's intimate relationship with the members of the Jadu dynasty, they became also more purifying than the Ganges River. All of them, the whole dynasty, they were so purifying simply by being born in Krishna's same family and having an intimate relationship as our relative. He is Krishna, is our relative. They knew he was, especially in Dwaraka, they knew he's a super soul. The super soul has actually come and become one of our relatives as Krishna. They were very happy to have Krishna as their relative. It's because of this intimacy, all the members of the Jadu dynasty, and there were a lot of members. Shukadeva Goswami gives numbers, but it's quadrillions of personal bodyguards, something quadrillions, and personal teachers of all the students of the Jadu dynasty. So many, millions and millions of. They all became more purified than the Ganges. So powerful. So then Ganga Devi came, and Lord.Siva caught her in his head to break the fall, otherwise she would have smashed all the planets. When she first came in Vamana Leela, he stuck his big toe through the toenail, not the toe, toenail. He has a big toenail. It went right through the universe. And one or two drops fell in. That's the Ganga being from time immemorial. So much water is just one or two drops from the causal ocean. Anyway, she come down on the head of Lord.Siva. And when Bhagirati Maharaj, he was waiting. She didn't come from Lord.Siva, so she went out find out what's happening. And he found out that Lord.Siva and Ganga Devi were having nice pastimes in there. They didn't bother to come, so Bhagirati Maharaj was thinking, what's going to happen to my forefathers if the Ganga doesn't come? How will they be delivered? And Lord.Siva and Ganga Devi are having a nice time up in the hair of Lord.Siva. So then he went and told his wife, you know your husband's up there and having an affair with the... What? She became very angry. Called Lord, bring the Ganga down there immediately. So then it fell from there to the higher planets here near Brahmaloka and different tops of different mountains, and then it flows down. She flows down to different places and different oceans. So Lord.Siva is very difficult to understand, but we shouldn't try to estimate him or make any offenses, thinking that he is not Krishna or he's less than. In the joke pit here, Lord.Siva has many places in Nabadvip. At the joke pit, he is there, just behind Nimai's Janmastan. You get there's two Shiva lingams you can see. One is Gopeshwara, and the other one is Ketrapol. Ketrapol means the guardian of the Dham. Ketrapol Shiva, along with Prodamaya is Yogamaya Devi. They cover the Dham, and they reveal the Dham to the devotees. If the curtain of Maya is lifted, so they reveal the Dham, or they close the Dham for those who have material motivations, who want to enjoy and exploit in the spiritual realm. Then the curtain of Mahamaya is dropped. But for the pure devotees, then that curtain is lifted. Yogamaya lifts the curtain, and the spiritual realm is revealed to. So this is their business. They protect the Dham by Lord.Siva and Parvati. There's Now the Shiva Ghat is here, where he stays. Parakrona Ghat. It describes as 5 Shiva lingams there. It's a very beautiful temple built by Vishwakarma. In the future, all these ghats again will become manifest. The prediction of Nityananda Prabhu. Shankaracharya, he's an incarnation of Lord Shiva. And he came here to Navadvip, he came to Mayapur, Shankarpur, the village name is Shankar. But Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared to him and said, "You better leave this place. This is for my bhaktas, there's no place for you." Because Shankaracharya was propounding his Mayavad philosophy. So he's traveling around conquering the whole of India with his Mayavad. So he came here in Navadvip, and Gauranga appeared in his dream. He said, "No place for you here, these are all my bhaktas. On my behalf, Lord Shiva and Prodamaya, they deceive everyone. I present the tantras and things like that, where you can get magic, you can do magic, and the Mayavad philosophy also. So in this way I bewilder. Those people are attracted to materialistic cities and things like that, and magic. So Lord Shiva gives all these things in the tantras. So those materialistic people, they're very much attracted to that. They want all these powers and cities and magic. And they think, what are those Vaishnavas are doing? They're just looking in Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting Hare Krishna, and looking in Bhagavatam is all sentimental stories. We're getting all the real stuff. We're getting all the magic and stuff like that, powers and. So in this way, they avoid polluting the Vaishnavas. They're all kept busy. Lord Shiva and Parvati keep them busy in their tantrics and everything like that, so they don't disturb the Vaishnavas. So it's just one of their forms of protecting the Dharma. I remember we were having Navadvip Dham Prikram goes through that place, Shankarpur. And we were having a class there, and Sachinandan Swami was giving class. My dear devotees, it sounds like he's eating rasgullas when he's talking or chanting. He's getting a lot of taste. It sounds like juicy rasgulla. And Shankaracharya, he came here. And Shankaracharya is the incarnation of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, Vaishnava, Nama Chatashambhu, he is the greatest of all the Vaishnavas. And Shinga Maharaj, what's his name? From Scotland? Shinga? Something else? Bhakti? Vignaga. Something like Bhakti Vignaga, Singha Maharaja. He was hearing all this, and he said, "Hey, this Shankaracharya is a big Mayavadi. You're a big Mayavadi. And you're glorifying Mayavadi. You don't know Prabhupada's pranam mantra, Nirvishisha Shunyavadi? And you didn't read that poem of Prabhupada? Absolute is sentient, thou hast proved. Impersonal calamity thou hast removed. These be us puja offering to Bhaktisiddhanta. You haven't read these things? He's a big Mayavadi." Very heated argument. But in the Jayavadhamma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then the two disciples, they go to see their Guru Maharaj. And they say, "What is Guru Maharaj? what is the position of Shankaracharya? And the Guru, he says, Sripad Shankaracharya, we give our Ashtanga Dandabat Pranam at his lotus feet. They say, why Guru Maharaj? He's a big Mayavadi. Why you take the dust of his lotus feet? Why are you saying that? He said, no, this Shankaracharya, an incarnation of Lord.Siva, Govinda, he instructed Lord.Siva, you go into the material world and present a philosophy similar to Buddhism. Because at the present moment, the Buddhism was very strong in India, all of India, and outside of India also. Buddhism was becoming very strong. So, Buddha is another incarnation of Krishna. So Krishna sent Lord.Siva, you go and you present a philosophy similar to Buddhism, but not actually, you bring it back to Veda. So Buddhism is nihilistic. Buddhism is actually atheism, because there's no God. There's nothing. Nothing at all. So it's atheistic. If there's no God, it must be atheist. So, but he's very powerful because he's an incarnation of Krishna. Buddha is very powerful. So he spread this all over with the help of Emperor Ashoka, I think, also. He's become very powerful. So you go down and you defeat him. So Shankaracharya came down with his Mayavad philosophy. See, the Buddhism says zero, everything is zero. Shankaracharya said, no, there is something, but you cannot see it, you cannot touch it. It's Brahman, there is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. So there is something. How did Prabhupada explain that? The Buddhists say there is no life, and the Mayavadis say there is life, but what? Can't remember. A nice little phrase. Anyway, it meant practically the same thing. So he presented his Mayavad philosophy. He drove Buddhism out of India. He got rid of Buddhism. He was so powerful. And he was only a young man, about 35 years or something like that. Powerful, eh? Conquered the whole of India. Got rid of Mayavada philosophy. So the Guru says to the disciples, if Sripad Shankaracharya hadn't have done that, if he hadn't have kicked out Buddhism, if he hadn't have come and presented his philosophy, we would still be left with Buddhism. Buddhism would remain, because who can... Buddha is a Shaktavesh avatar, he presented it, so who can defeat him? We'll still be stuck with that Buddhist philosophy. So therefore we pay our Astanda Dandabat Pranam at his lotus feet. Otherwise today we'll be all Buddhist and it means all atheist. There is no God. So he saved us. So therefore we take shelter of his lotus feet. Anyway, out of his intense love for Prabhupada and the Sringa Maharaj and his chastity to Prabhupada's mood, that blazing battle went on. In the Ananta Samhita, During the churning of the ocean of milk, there first came the poison. So how we can get rid of all that poison? Then Lord.Siva, you see in the picture in the temple, he drank all the poison and kept it in his throat. The throat went blue because of the poison. Now his name is Nilakanta, blue throat. He drank that poison. Who can drink an ocean of poison? Only someone as powerful as Lord.Siva, but he kept it in his throat, it was burning. So he went to Shwetadweep to see Lord Anantadeva. And Lord Anantadeva gave him the Ananta Samhita. And the Ananta Samhita is glorification of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, it's glorification of Navadvip, it's glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he heard that. He received that Ananta Samhita from Anantadeva, Lord Anantadeva. And because he kept that in his throat, he was reciting it in his throat, then that's what counteracted all of the poison. What counteracts poison? Nectar. So what was the nectar that counteracted the whole ocean of poison? That was the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Navadvip Dham. And so after that, Lord.Siva said, now I feel I become freed from that great sin of spreading Mayavad philosophy. So even Lord.Siva says it's a sin, a great sin, this Mayavad philosophy. Anyway, many forms here, Shiva. Shiva Doba. Opposite the hospital, there's a place called Shiva Doba. They're at where there's a Gaudiya Mat there now, Shanta Maharaj. That's Shiva Doba. Doba means a pond. Lord.Siva was sitting there meditating on Gauranga, and tears of love fell and formed a pond at Shiva Doba. Well, this is the Gaudiya Mat, the new Gaudiya Mat, but when the Maharaj was constructing here, Bhagavat Maharaj. Yeah, he's there now. Shanta Maharaj's temple. Anyway, he was building that temple, he had a dream. Lord.Siva came and he was big. He said about 30 feet tall in the dream. He had a deer skin and a tree shawl. Very angry. He said, why my worship is not going on? So the Maharaj said, okay, I'll start worshiping. He said, because they'd encroached a little bit on the Doba. He built the temple there, and someone else come and built. They've been encroaching. So Lord.Siva was a little bit angry. So he built a temple there now. You go in the gate, on the right side, the main temple is to go ahead. You don't go to the main, you just turn right. As soon as you go in the gate, there's a temple. Anyway, there's a Shiva Lingam there. It's about this big, about 4 feet tall. But if you go in there, you can see it, walk around the back side, you can see that very clearly, like the Ganga is, it's like, and the Shila itself, the big Shila, it's like milk, foam, like foam from the Ganga, and she's gushing down. It's very good, you can see that. So it's like Lord.Siva catching the Ganga on his head. It runs down the back of his body, looking just like foam on water. Hariharai. Hariharai is there, across the Jalangi. That was established by King Chandra Raya, I think 242 years ago. He established a half Shiv, half Vishnu, Hari Hara. Actually, it mentioned the pastime like that took place in Goloka. He said the Lord of the cowherd lasses, Krishna. From his left side came Lord.Siva. Anyway, it's either Vishnu, some people say it's Vishnu. Hari Hara. But the king established it for this purpose of settling the fact, because they're always arguing who's the greatest, Shiva or Krishna. The Krishna Bhaktas, they wanted Krishna. Shiva Bhaktas, no, Shiva is the strongest, he's the biggest. So there was always arguments going on. So he established a deity, half Shiva, half Vishnu or Krishna. So they, to settle all the argument. And one time that deity was stolen, he went into the police station in Krishnanagar. Not inside the jailhouse, but in the police office. He was sitting there, he had a name tag around his foot. Stolen property. And we went there, we did some puja one time. We went there with Gauranga Prem Maharaj, Mahanidhi Maharaj, a few others. We bought some sweets and yogurts because nobody was doing any puja. Harihara was sitting in the police station. So we bought some yogurt and different lots of sweets for him. Had a feast. Then we had a kirtan. One side was Purusha Shukta mantra, at least Shiva side. The other one was Maha mantra or something. or it may have been... anyway. One side was singing Lord.Siva, one side was singing Krishna. And then the police said, "You can take him. We don't like to keep him here, but you have to make secure the other place so he doesn't get stolen." Anyway, the temple is now secure, and he's back there in that area. If a person leaves his body, that's Mahakashi, Banarasi, that area. Anybody who leaves their body there, Lord.Siva becomes his ear and he chants out, Gauranga! Gauranga, he shouts Gauranga in their ears as you're leaving your body. Very merciful. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a vision also in Rudradeep. The island bearing is Rudradeep. Others, we may be in Antadweep. Radha Madhava is in Rudradeep, Panchatattva in Antadweep. Jayapataka Maharaj said. No, he was on the back of the Lotus building. Prabhupada and Jayapataka, and Prabhupada said, actually, we're right on the border. The Ganga makes the borders of the islands. We're right on the border of Mayapur here, and Rudradeep. He said, the building is actually in Rudradeep. So Jayapataka Maharaj said, so the Panchatattva, the other side, there's the Ganga used to flow here. The other side is Antadweepa, the central island. So Panchatattva in Antadweepa and Radha Madhava in Rudradeep. Prabhupada said according to the land settlement maps. So it may be used in an official thing. But anyway, it's there, the island of friendship. And actually, who have a greater friend than Lord.Siva? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur has that vision in the Navadip Avataranga. And then he sees Lord.Siva there. Boom, boom, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan, boom, boom, Jai. This is an address, boom, oh my Lord, something like that, I think. Boom, boom, Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. Give your mercy to all living entities. Jai Sachinandan, Jai Sachinandan. Then he sees Bhaktivinoda Thakur. By my mercy, Maya will go. What a friend. Who would like Maya to go from them? So Lord.Siva, my mercy, because Maya is his wife, Maya Devi. He can order, the husband can order. By my mercy, he said. just before that, in the Sringapoli, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had the darshan of Nrsingadev, and Lord Nrsingadev said, by the mercy of my devotees, you will understand everything. Lord Nrsingadev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He could have given his blessing also, but he said, by the mercy of my devotees, everything will be revealed. Then when he meets Lord.Siva, Lord.Siva says, by my mercy, Vaishnav Jataha, Vaishnav Namachataha Shambhu, by the mercy of Lord.Siva, the greatest Vaishnava, then he attains. Lord.Siva said, there you go to that other side of the Jalangi, other side of the Ganga here, that area is the Rasa Stali. Krishna performs the rasa there. Go there. He goes there and has a vision. He has a vision of his own form, and then a vision of Krishna, Sri Krishna Chandra, and billions of gopis performing a rasa on the other bank of the Ganga there. They were all by the mercy of Lord.Siva that he finally got that. So this is the island of friendship. It represents the 9 angas of bhakti. Rududweep, the island of friendship. Who is a better friend than Lord.Siva, who can reveal to you the eternal, your eternal home, your eternal service. Bom bom bole. Vaishnav Jatahanam Shambhu ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shamaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Nitai Go Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Sorry I'm a little bit late.